Namaste, angels. I just wanted to do another little client reading for another client for whom I recently did healing on the divine masculine, just to see where things are at. He has an important date coming up this month, dealing with some issues. So I just want to take a look and see how things are going here. The masculine is a Pisces, and the feminine is an Aquarius. And I'm actually starting with Major Arcana card 18, the moon, which does represent the sign of Pisces in the tarot. Or, perhaps another water sign, most directly Pisces. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. And right behind it is also upright the 10 of spring. So like carrying a burden, feeling burdened or burdensome upon somebody else, coming to an end soon. Also perhaps being stressed out, having a lot going on, serious situations, and that energy coming to an end soon, but perhaps you don't realize it because there's stuff that you don't know, right? The moon means that there is information that we don't have. Maybe something is hidden. Sometimes it's actual secrets. And sometimes it's just stuff that the universe has yet to reveal to us. So with this other deck, I'm kind of also beginning with the moon. It's called Divine Guidance, but, there's another big moon here, which is interesting. In both cases, there's a necessity to pay attention to one's intuition and to follow the guidance that we receive, the divine guidance. I'll go ahead and shuffle this one first. It doesn't matter in which order I go. Oh, look, there's an 8 of winter sticking up. The 8 of winter just like sort of jumped out there. And it is about feeling trapped, caged, jailed, stuck. But that those feelings are like in your head, unwarranted in terms as far as the universe is concerned. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of self-confidence if you first affirm your freedom. So it's about mindset. Just stuck it back in arbitrarily. Opening to the Queen of Winter. So there's the female or the feminine's energy right there. As I mentioned, she is an Aquarius. In the tarot, the Queen tends to represent the fixed sign of a given element. So of the element of winter or swords or whatever, the fixed sign is the sign of Aquarius. All your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. The Queen of Winter, again, is an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, but the feminine in this case is actually an Aquarius. So now I have Aquarius opposite Pisces. The moon. And the 5 of winter. So there's the conflict. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome. So why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others. So there may be other people somehow involved or sticking their nose in something, and that is causing negativity, negative energy to be surrounding them, which can result in an actual manifestation of like 3D conflict and drama. Or alternatively, there is another possibility. This can be one person being like conflicted and having like thoughts go through their head. So they're at risk of manifesting negativity into their own life with their thoughts. Between the 5 of winter and the 8 of winter, add that on, and yeah, you can really draw something negative towards yourself. Because the suit of winter or swords is all about thoughts, words, ideas, communication. And our thoughts and words that we speak over ourselves, even ideas that we conceive, become our reality if we hold on to them as like a focused intention, whether they're negative or positive. Also, situation could be coming up something from the past. When you see the Six of Summer of Cups, whatever this conflict is, it's like not a new thing. Something from the past is in what it is rooted. The love and care of children could become an important part of your life, or people from your childhood may return to it. Old memories can be healed, or possibly old childhood dreams are ready to be revived. The Six of Summer, in addition to those things, is also a soulmate card for me. Six of Summer, and I'll do one more. It is Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit. Take time for contemplation, to retreat, and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path of spiritual enlightenment. So the Hermit represents the sign of Virgo. 9, which falls into the 9th month where we are right now, September. Begins in August, but falls into September, the sign of Virgo. And is about spirituality, enlightenment, coming into awareness, knowledge. So often the Hermit is seen, or at least by me, as like a professor, a lawyer. And it can be a student, but like where it is, it's like where we tend to be both the student and the teacher. So we're learning about ourselves when we're doing introspection. But again, it is about getting information too and becoming enlightened. So coming into some sort of clarity, maybe about a past situation, and or something involving children or a soulmate, or could be all of the above. All right. And the 10 of Winter. So another card indicative of pain, hurt, loss, betrayal, perhaps even codependent situations, toxic situations coming to an end, ultimately. The end of a career path, project, or relationship brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. The overall energy is Major Arcana card 11, Strength, which means that we have the ability to, and the wherewithal to face whatever comes our way. Major Arcana card Strength represents the sign of Leo, and suggests that true strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. It can also be about partnership and the need to have some faith, because it is a 2. 11 equals 2. And now for this deck, again, beginning with Divine Guidance. All right. There's 2 of similar colors, a lot of like fire energy. I don't want to spend too much time, but I was getting something. But yeah, it is connected to like fire energy. So, could be Jupiter himself, could be Mars himself. Emergence and physical body. And the sun versus the moon. Right here we have the moon. Here we have the sun, and here we have like rays of light. This person seeing like the light of day, or seeing the light, coming into clarity. I think more so than anything else, this is about, again, coming into clarity, awareness, information. But also, it's interesting because I'm feeling a very strong need for surrender coming from these cards, whereas it's the moon that's representative in general of feminine energy of surrender. But emergence is like come out, come out to the light. So it's like the opposite of being trapped or caged or stuck, like the 8 of Swords. physical body, and heaven and earth. Speaking of the fire energy, there's more here, as well as air. Heaven and earth shows up. It's because we are taking up the space in our lives where heaven could be, joy could be, right? Our happiness, with something to the contrary. We could be going through hell at the moment. But it's because we're holding on to something or someone. Now, usually, or more often than not, I'll say, it's actually not a person per se, or even a thing, but it's usually more so emotions, negative emotions and negative cords of attachment. And these things can be built up over time. They could go all the way back to our childhood, or have started then, or have something to do with our family, our upbringing, be connected to that Six of Cups that we saw, something from the past. So it's things like regret, resentment, the inability to forgive, fear, ego, pride. And that's what we have to let go. And when we do, when we empty out that space by releasing those energy or cutting those cords to things that are toxic and codependent situations, then the positive blessing can come in. But not until we do that. And now it's opposite this physical body where I was feeling surrender. So, and the sun is shining here too. So again, I think, it's unusual for the sun, but I think this card is about the need for surrender and vulnerability. But it's also like it's about protection. So it could be connected to that strength card, which represents a fire element. Again, the sign of Leo. Leo, which is ruled by the sun. And something being illuminated, like the sun makes everything better, shines a light on something. We have it very strong here. See these rays? I don't know if you can see them, if the camera's picking them up, but there's like rays coming down here from the clouds where the sun is trying to peek through. It's going to be I think the Hermit that we saw is also tied into this, because it's going to be important to do some reflection and introspection in order to decide to what to surrender, or of what to surrender, to let go, based on guidance and clarity into which you come. Details being illuminated and spiritual growth. So here's more fire energy. Like I said, it could be Jupiter himself. Jupiter, the planet and god of growth, expansion, luck, karma. And we have these two air and fire cards opposite one another. So letting something go will give way to growth and expansion. Something positive coming in. I'll do one more. Oh, maybe two more. There's the reflection I just said you're going to have to do. The introspection. And it's here with inner child. So again, it could be something from your past, your childhood, an ideology with which you were raised, a belief system, a way of thinking. Family members could be involved. Something you wanted to get off your chest, you wanting to communicate. But the star, also in the tarot, representative of prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. So it can also be, a need to, again, make a focus intention on something positive so that you can manifest what it is you truly want and sort of release this inner child. Oh, okay. I didn't mean to do that, but back to reflection. Overall energy is expectancy. So expectancy shows up when we are blocking our blessings. So just to cut straight to the chase, something that I already mentioned in this reading, the potential for blocking your blessings depending upon on what you're focused. It's also about limiting the universe, like just thinking like that can't happen, that can't happen. I want exactly this, thinking with our limited 3D minds that aren't even capable of conceptualizing what the universe can send in, the kind of blessings the universe can give you, what the universe can provide. We just block it in. That's the energy of expectancy. We end up blocking the whole blessing. Divine feminine, the masculine as it relates to the feminine, himself, and the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do, contribute, surrender toward the union. What he himself is willing to, what the universe would have both do, and even wants to, or each do, and even wants to help them with, is here. But they have to first affirm, right? They have to commit to it. We have free will, so they have to choose this, and choose to allow the universe or God, the angels, whatever, your ancestors, entree into your life to intercede on your behalf there. Divine feminine. Dreams. This is a card that represents the sign of Pisces for me too. Of course, dreams and fantasies and illusions are, very much tied into the energy of Pisces and the planet Neptune, which rules it. And it's coupled with Major Arcana card 21, the World. Something is coming to an end. Something has come full circle. Something is coming to an end. And it's an energy that you needed to leave already. So now you're being eased out of it. And you're going to be put in a better place. Congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you've set out to do. You've made it through the challenging times, the challenges, and incorporated the lessons that life offered you with grace and courage. Major Arcana card 21, the World, for me, has a fire element energy. I haven't ever attributed it to any one sign or another, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. It just feels like fire. And karmic energy, so it's like the universe stepping in with that fire, maybe, just to burn stuff down and so that, let it burn. And so we move on to the next thing, or, to cleanse it. We can cleanse things with fire, whatever the reason. I just feel fire when I pick up this card. And for me, it's contrary to most tarot readers, most of the time. For me, it tends not to be about the world being your oyster or the world being at your feet and all this other kind of cliche stuff. It is about, I call it my waiting to exhale card. Like something you really should have done, you really should have moved out of, an energy you really should have moved out of before, but you have yet to do it. So now the universe helping you, easing you out. It's very similar to the Tower, except the Tower is abrupt. But in both cases, it is the universe stepping in to handle things where we didn't, often where we didn't. The masculine as it relates to the feminine, and more often than not, really specifically tied into the feminine's card. And it is spiritual growth. And Major Arcana card 14, balance, which is temperance in the traditional tarot, which represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, fire sign Sagittarius, which it rules. Somebody may have, again, some fire energy in their chart, maybe specifically Sagittarius. By merging varying points of view, you can now generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. So this is about wanting to work together toward the growth, toward the next step. And you see again, the fire is back with this card too. Temperance is also a card for me about restoration, like being made whole, recovery, recompense. It can be about negotiating and compromise too. And where we have differences, maybe coming together despite those differences. The masculine as it relates to himself, and more air and fire is back. It is the heaven on earth card. But it's coupled with a very positive air card, the Six of Winter. The challenging times are coming to an end. This is our second time seeing a message like this, right? Because we saw the Ten of Winter already, and that it said something was coming to an end that was difficult and negative. You can now breathe a sigh of relief. Let the past go. So allow something to end. Allow the universe to help you through a situation, to negotiate a way out, to compromise maybe. You may have to give something, give a little. Other side may have to give a little. And we meet somewhere in the middle that works for everybody, to the best ability, right? Let go of the past and embrace the happier times ahead. Six of Winter can also be a card of traveling and moving, but it's always positive. I've never gotten anything negative from the Six of Winter. Six of Swords. The union as a whole. Answered prayer. And here we have air and water. Air and water, just like their coupling. You see all the white, all the air, the little puffs of smoke and stuff, and all the blue, all the water. Now, most specifically of the signs of air and water, it is her energy here with the star placed very strategically over the throat chakra, star representative of the sign of Aquarius and air signs, communication. And for me, the butterfly is definitely far more Scorpio than Pisces, but that's okay. Air and water nonetheless, but more importantly, answered prayer. So again, dreams coming true, wishes being granted. And it's connected to the King of Spring, which could be the masculine's energy, like something positive. Remember I said he had some, serious business coming up. Something positive for him specifically in that area that, helps both of them. And being preceded by the Six of Winter just sort of supports that. Now's your time to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. So if we stay focused upon the positive intention, right? That's what prayer is all about. Prayer is manifestation. It is being focused on a positive intention and drawing it into you. It is the law of attraction. I mean, it just depends on what you want to call it. The only difference is, if there is any ever, is that the scriptures specifically say that prayer without works is dead. Like, you can't just pray. You also have to take action. Whereas with manifestation, it's more about not necessarily action, but thoughts, focused intention, which I guess you can consider action. But crowning, more air and water, and the Two of Summer. So this again representative of their energy, balance. Right, here's the water, here's the air. It's also about temperance. For me, this card, recovery, restoration, being made whole, and it feels very much like temperance, and they're both called balance in these two different decks. Isn't that funny? So even though it's blue and white, and therefore says air and water to me, it also says temperance to me, which again represents the sign of Sagittarius. So that could still be coming in. If there's nobody that's a Sagittarius, moon or rising, it could just be Jupiter. Jupiter, again, the planet of growth and expansion. We've got this growth here that wants to happen. So I like this coupling with the two of water, two of summer, or cups here with this. So it's a very clear representation of them and their relationship and union. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship. Marriages or romantic partnerships in distress can still be saved. Don't give up. So that's clear direction. What the masculine would have the feminine do, again, contribute, surrender, however you want to put it, toward the union. And it is abundance, but it's joined by the two of winter, which is interesting, or particularly interesting, because it's sitting here under, or like crossing this temperance, which again is about compromise and stuff, because the two of winter is about not so much compromise. It represents an energy of inaction. Like there's something you need to do. There's a decision you need to make, but you haven't done anything. But when you do finally make the decision, it's important that you make it for you, with yourself in mind. What's going to make you happy, rather than trying to like please other people, being a people pleaser and negotiate with other people. Procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance. So it's like he's saying, with this card and with these cards in this placement, and I said what the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union. If he's saying abundance, this is like this is like an ace of pentacles, wanting her to go toward that. And maybe it's a question. Do I go toward that, or do I walk away from this union? Maybe other people are saying walk away from the union. Maybe other people are saying walk towards it, and that's what she wants to do, the opposite. But it's about making sure, whatever the decision is, making sure that you do what you choose, or what she chooses is what she's supposed to do here. And not, be concerned about other people's thoughts about her relationship or not, how they may feel about her being in a relationship or not being in a relationship. I don't know which one they may not like, but it doesn't matter. There's no need to compromise with people on your life, or to compromise yourself for other people, basically, is that message. What the masculine himself willing to do, contribute, surrender toward the union, and it is inner child. So dealing with that, again, that thing from the past and or family situation. I really feel it has to deal with dealing with issues from the past the most, though. And here we have more air, water, and also earth. And more Aquarius. That means more, again, wishes being granted, prayers being answered, dreams coming true, and more need to communicate, and with, more than one way to do it. We got throat chakra, we got third eye chakra, we got crown chakra. So there's ideas, there's words, there's things. And with the Eight of Spring is about communication also. So one message is him being willing to address these things and to reach out, to be the bigger person, or to be mature, not like a child, and communicate maybe what's going on, what's feeling, and maybe something from his past, sharing it. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. The Eight of Spring, eights are about karma. I keep talking about this fire energy, most connected to Sagittarius and Jupiter, the planet and god of karma. So eights are about karma, and it's a positive thing. It's your good karma. It's the universe stepping in, again, on your behalf, similar to the world, to work its magic behind the scenes for you, based on positive karma. The same thing I said about the Six of Winter, which it crosses, that I've never seen negative Six of Winter or Six of Swords. I've never seen negative Eight of Wands. It's just always positive for me. What the universe would have each or both do, whether separate or apart or together or however, but each separately would have to affirm and confirm, and using their free will. The universe even wants to help them with what? Enlightenment, clarity, understanding, partnership. The Two of Spring, well, twos in general, first of all, are about faith, partnership. When you see twos, similar to when people see, you know, ones or 1111, and then, like, you know, there's all kinds of silly stuff. Oh, that means you're a twin flame. Oh, that means you need to make a wish. Oh, it means you need to pause, because in that moment you are like in the height of a manifestation period, and you need to make sure the words and the thoughts, the ideas that I'm thinking right now, are they positive? If they're not, let me shift my thinking immediately and focus on the positive things, the abundance, the love, the money, the opportunity, the, you know, health, the wealth, whatever it is that I want to bring into my life. Cup upon cup running over. That's what you need to shift your focus to. So similarly with when you see twos, that's a time when you got to check yourself, your faith. Has my faith been wavering? Have I been pessimistic, doubtful? Let me shift that around. Let me, you know, make sure, because I believe in miracles. So let me make sure that my thoughts reflect that. So that's one thing. But the Two of Spring is also representative of, you know, this king and his other half, the Queen of Spring or Wands. Together, they make up or represent, you know, divine unions or twin flame relationships, divine unions. The Two of Spring or Wands is the divine union card of the tarot. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors, or to expand, right? Again, some more growth and expansion, a la Jupiter, the number of people who are helping you. So it's very nice to be crowned by the Two of Cups and the Two of Wands. You can't really go wrong with that. And the outcome, transmutation, opposite the Five of Wands. So what does this mean? Five of Wands, the first thought when we see this is negativity, right? Confrontation. What is transmutation about, though? Taking negativity and turning it into positive energy. This is more sun, more naked female body, some more surrender, but more rising, more ascension, courtesy again of this fire energy that is like here to support us. Also, because this is so positive, another positive or a positive way that I tend to look at the Five of Spring is being an action card, like representative of like a Mars sort of energy, the planet of action and aggression. It's where you take action. So you consciously decide to take action and to take those negative emotions and negative cords of attachment and to transmute them to love and to positivity to help to further yourself. Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. And it sits here next to the Two of Winter also, which I just mentioned before, also was about not compromising yourself, not sacrificing your integrity. So not compromising your beliefs is the message that's repeated there. I'm going to leave those. I'd also wanted to look specifically at a couple cards and his situation, but I feel not to take these up. I'm going to go ahead and just, this is not connected to this. I'm just going to put 3 here that I want to look at in connection specifically with his situation. 7 of Winter, someone trying to steal your joy. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources, such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions, as well as what others might be doing behind your back. The Seven of Winter can be about our stealing our own joy too, with lack of esteem, lack of confidence that is preventing us from taking action on our own behalf. So whether it's someone else or it's us, again, caution will help us to avoid that. So if we follow positive guidance that we've been given, that is us taking caution and avoiding those type of losses. You also want to be, when this kind of card shows up, be mindful of, you see he's got a key in his mouth. Be mindful of things like losing your keys, your wallet. That this is like somebody wanting to take your home, take your freedom, take your happiness, and steal your joy, basically. That's why I summarize it as steal your joy. The next card, however, is the Ace of Winter. I like where this is going because why? The Ace of Winter is a card that shows up. It's about new beginnings. It's about fresh starts. But it comes on the heels of a difficulty like this. Of times where you've seen the Seven of Winter, the Nine of Winter like we have, the 10 of Winter like we have. That's when the Ace shows up, because the Ace says, yeah, the road may have been hard and difficult traveling to get here. And there may be still a couple more bumps. We might not be completely done. However, you're getting a fresh start. Right, you are getting a fresh start, so you should think positively. The Ace of Winter is also about truth coming out. So this could be, again, somebody trying to steal your joy. Could be involving thievery, or some sort of drama. What's the word I'm looking for? Like somebody, like false accusations and stuff, a setup or something. And the Ace of Winter is about truth. Or it's the Ace of Swords. They say the Ace of Swords takes that sword and cuts right through the bullshit to get through to the truth of the matter. The Ace of Swords is also a card of victory. It's being triumphant, again, after difficulty. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. So again, it's about paying attention to your guidance that you're receiving and then following through. And if you have to make a change, then making it. And the outcome here is positive news, right? Something to make us smile, something that's going to make us happy, with the Princess of Summer. Also, the Princess of Summer for me is directly connected to the sign of Pisces. That's not necessarily a tarot thing. That's a me thing, because the princess or the page is the more youthful, right, of a given element. And the more youthful of the water element is Pisces. That's the mutable sign. So like Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, those are the youthful energies of all the signs. All the elements, rather. So this definitely represents his energy, and so it can have double meaning, right? It's about him being the one to experience what I just talked about, and also it's about, good news. Because pages bring news, and this one brings news that's, emotionally warming. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. So this can also be about the strengthening of their bond too, which we see here. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. This can also be tied to, again, him here with his higher self sort of committing to some sort of communication. It can be tied to this as well. Further advice from the Animal Tarot to the masculine, and it is the Star, which again is representative of the feminine's energy as an Aquarius, but it's also 17 equals 8, so it's also another card about karma. And again, the Star is all about prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. You're about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism. Fear with hope. And joy is coming home to roost. Didn't I just say someone's trying to steal your joy? And it's like it has something to do with your home and your happiness because he's got this key in his mouth. The joy is coming home is what this card says. For the feminine, the 7 of spring. Remember, she had a decision to make with the 2 of winter. Well, the 7 of spring says when you make your decision, whatever it is, only change your mind if you want to. Don't let anybody else, make you do, talk you into doing, convince you to do anything that you don't want to. Be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine. Love. Very, very simply, love. Love is the strongest and highest energy of all. So if he changes his mindset to one of love, think love, be love, that's going to fix everything else. And for the feminine, golden memories. So I talked about letting it burn. And also the heaven on earth, letting something go. So there is something here. It looks like that the feminine still, and it could be negative cords of attachment, negative emotions, in her case as well. Something of which she needs to let go. Could be tied to a fire sign. And with it looking like there's a sun here in the center of this volcano, maybe specifically a Leo ruled by the sun. But something of which she needs to let go. It's like baggage that she just needs to drop and let it burn so that she'll be lighter and then she can move forward in her life, right? Like that song by Erykah Badu, Bag Lady, you're gonna hurt your back, dragging all those bags like that. You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff, like you're too heavy to move forward. So you got to get rid of that. And I'll pull one clarifier since it's upright, and it is the goddess of the moon. And again, the moon represents the sign of Pisces. This is about surrender. This is about feminine energy, feminine empowerment. And you being particularly intuitive in this time. So definitely be sure to listen to the guidance and listen to, the messages as to of what it is you are to let go. Right? And then once you decide, listen to your heart, right? And your soul, your intuition is what I mean. And then once you decide, again, don't let anybody push you around and tell you that that's not the right thing for you. I hope that you find this helpful and that you enjoy it. Namaste.